So today we are going to discuss about the law of repetition. If we learn through association, repetition help us recall. When it first began, it for us to employ focused conscious awareness. It needs a significant level of concentric to reroute automatic thought. However, when we continue to do it again, neurons start to connect with one another. If we can consistently act, think, and demon without our minds straying to other things, we can strategize, or experience anything. When we think, our brain develops a more complex, robust synaptic connections to enable that higher mental level. Every day, hundreds of professional athletes rehearse their movements under the guidance of instructions every week. They want to avoid having to think about very nuance of their tennis, basket, or golf swings. In fact, want the exact opposite. They hone their muscles by consistent practice, or better yet, train their muscles to remember until they discover that elusive thing. John, where the body may operate independently of the intellect. That's the actions of law of repetition. Children are learning machines, as any parent can attest. A few times they do learn too well. For instance, when our kid begin to walk, we are both happy and concerned. Her mobility suddenly makes her vulnerable to variety of possible threats. As don't it feels like a parent's vocabulary is becoming the child mobility grows. There are the many of more instances of the word no. Don't touch it. I said no, avoid it. No, come back here. I said from those steps. Imagine the shock on the parent faces when after a few weeks in this no word, tiny Sarah refused to put the telelower visions remote. Where do you suppose she learned that from? How many times were she hers in time for her to quickly connect the word with a particular tone, with the idea and the influence that term has on her surroundings? When I initially started writing this, I remember how uncomfortable it was. Gaining typing skills, simply locating the home row and placing my fingers felt like funny. Finding every key's location required extensive, often frustrating research. Initially it happened, with everything when you start to learn anything new. So however, the talent become easier the more I used it, and you may probably recall dozens abilities you have developed through the time. You are a naturally, I don't just mean simply simple, a fresh talent emerging automatic, subconscious, and finally after we have perfected that skills, in another words, we stop thinking about that specific talent once we master it. When we devote our conscious attention to the feeling of an event, think about it frequently, act it out, repeat, and exhibit it constantly.